Greetings and salutations. I would first and foremost like to welcome you to the It's Just Heavy podcast. If you find yourself here, it means that you would like to be entertained by my thoughts, views, and perspectives that are mine and mine alone and are strictly for entertainment purposes. If at the end of the broadcast you find yourself not liking what you hear, by all means, please unsubscribe, unfollow, and respectfully have the life you deserve. It's heavy. Greetings, and salutations. Listen, so I know that in the thought and the spirit of things, TikTok, from what I hear for the time being, is supposed to be going bye-bye. And I've acquired a lot of followers and fans of people and individuals of whom know who I am because of a love story. And some people want to know what that love story is like. So since in dedication of me being back on my back and creating, I am so excited to do it. I get the opportunity of having a several-part series. First time ever in any platform, anywhere for the public to see. I'm going to have my wife on the podcast today. Clap it up for her. Clap it up for her. Clap it up for her. Now, keep in mind, simmer down. Hey, you cool. Calm down. Sir, put your shirt back on. Put your shirt back on. All right. Now, so this is going to be all still under It's Just Heavy, but this is going to be heavy-hearted. And heavy-hearted part one, I get the lovely honor, pleasure, and privilege of introducing my guest today, my rib, my sunshine, my moons, my lady, my wife, Miss Mac. Clap it up for her, ladies and gentlemen. Clap it up. What's up, baby?
What's up?
What's up? Yeah. Hey, boo.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good.
I first want to thank you for doing this with me. You know how much I love to create.
Yes.
And the misery that comes from me not being in a creative space. When I tell you the idea of doing this with you is something special. It's something unique. I love it. I cannot stop smiling.
I see.
It's too bad that the people out there in homeland won't see your face because my wife is professional. She has a job, a real job, big job, corporate job, and we can't have her face running willy-nilly for being a casualty of my thoughts, views, and perspectives. Please refer to the beginning of the tag of the podcast. This is for entertainment, but my beliefs should not cost her the job that allows me to live so well. Damn near sugar baby. Miss Mac in the building. How you doing, boo?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. So, once again, thank you for coming to the It's Just Heavy podcast, Heavy Hearted Part 1. It is about you. And the charade has gone on long enough. It has gone on quite long enough. And if you hear different breaks or different things that happen in the pod, we are recording this at 9:30 at night. And as you know, for those who don't, we are parents. And by parents, I mean my wife takes care of a giant baby and then also my daughter. So if at some point you hear something on the monitor where she got to break out, because she's the responsible one. She's the one that the daycare calls, the doctor calls, the dentist calls. The only time they call me is if I need to get active, and God forbid if I ever get active, because boy, daddy ain't coming home. So if she got to break out, if she's not as responsible, if you hear a tiny terrorist in the background screaming, it's just our daughter, baby girl Mac.
The boss.
Yeah, the boss. And I'm keeping all names off of the pod because, again, thoughts and views and perspectives are mine and mine alone, and I do not need my family to be persecuted for this. My wife is doing this for me as a favor, and we got to set the record straight on a couple of things. So we got topics, so I promise I'm going to try to keep this under an hour because I know you got to get to bed. Mm-hmm. I know you have to get to bed. So first off, as vague and as detailed as you'd like, we're going to go through the whole story of how this began, but we're going to start off with who is Miss Mac? Where you from? For those who heard the Heavy Thoughts podcast, she was Lady Law on there. So that's a first truth that's being unraveled. Where you from?
New York.
New York,
Mm-hmm.
the land of the rats,
Oh.
and the very
tried
aggressive homeless people.
No.
It's not.
No.
Wasn't one of the rules when we went to New York saying don't make eye contact with them?
Oh, that's not just for homeless people. That's everybody.
Y'all aggressive up there for no reason.
No, it's just people got things to do, places to go, people to see.
Yeah,
You can't all
yeah.
stop and be amazed at a building that's more than 10 flights.
Okay,
You know?
okay. Simmer down, because y'all get amazed at things in the South like, damn, everybody can drive. Public transportation is frowned upon. Like this
Not
is
even frowned upon, doesn't exist, or is severely lacking.
okay. Shout out to the people north of Virginia. Y'all are still terrible individuals as a whole, but you produce good products. You produce good products because my wife she's top tier.
Products, good
Yeah.
schools, good voting patterns.
Okay, there we go. All right, there it is. All right, we'll get there. All right, so you are from New York City, New York. Now, I know that y'all don't have, like, New York City. I always say, and anybody who knows me, I always make claims that, I'm from up north. You know what I'm saying? Word the mother. It's gotten more direct because of her. I say, I'm from 149th and Lenox, and she'd be like, that's not even a real place. I'd be like, but it don't matter, though, because, that ass B, you know what I'm saying, on everything. That's how we roll. That's how y'all talk, right?
I don't talk like that.
No,
but
you don't.
yes,
No, you don't. No, but
yeah.
my man's in them off of 140th and Lenox. You know what I'm saying? Malcolm X Boulevard. You know where the real at. That's a place, right?
Yes, that's a place.
Okay, yeah. See,
That
what I'm
is
saying?
funny.
Yo, Biggie, what up?
That
You know what I'm
took
saying?
that took years.
Okay.
Because you definitely were giving addresses that would have been in the East River.
Okay. Well, that's where the fishes sleep, B. Some of the bodies is over there. That's the Hudson, right?
It is us.
Yeah, that's the Hudson, B. You know what I'm saying? Word the mother, B. You know what I'm saying? I know it. New York. Brooklyn. Manhattan.
This is slander.
Bronx.
This is absolute slander.
What you mean? So it's not true?
No.
Yo,
Way more gunshots happen down here than they do up there.
all I'm going to say is and that's all I got to say about that. So,
Lies.
Yeah. Clearly not going to put that out because y'all ain't finna catch me. So I got to go back up there and see. I got to go back up there with her family. I'm not finna catch no New York problems. All right. So we going to talk about, because as stated, and for those who don't know, I am married to a young lady of whom I stated, gave a whole story and synopsis based on how we met on TikTok and things of that nature. But we're going to get to the meaty nitty gritty. And again, we're going to do it in a very condensed amount of time because she has to get to bed. I got to get all of this out tomorrow because I'm going to be so excited, which is going to be the 15th of January. And just in case my daughter wakes up, she don't give a fuck about potting. Nope. She don't care nothing about our feelings.
No.
She don't care nothing about our sleep patterns.
No.
She's a terrible two terrorist and we don't want no smoke with it. So we're going to try to get through this. And if she's not as, I'm going to say outwardly spoken, if my wife don't speak out as much, she's very calculated and methodical in the way of thinking and processing information. And there's certain things
times,
that,
yes,
there's certain things that, we can't talk about or we shouldn't talk about. And I'm not going to talk about. Again, I threw this on her at the last minute. She's doing this as a favor to me. So
last
we got,
minute as in today.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why else would it? What else would it be?
I am agreeing with you.
I know, and I appreciate it for you.
Thank you.
I cannot wait to give you some C+ sex. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be slightly above average. All right, so we know that you're from New York. Without going too deep in the deeper dive, your thoughts, views, and perspectives as it was towards dating. Like, let's say, because you went to not an all-girls school, but it was all-girls school?
Yep.
Okay, we're not going to give names because they don't pay us. You went to all-girls school.
That's true.
You went to all-girls school.
Yes.
And you graduated and went to one of the lower-level elite Ivies? It's not an Ivy.
It's not. And you always hear people say, this is the Ivy of the South. There are no Ivies in the South. That's just, it is what it is. This is the Ivy of the Midwest. There's no Ivies in the Midwest. The Ivy League schools, there's 7 of them. They're all in the Northeast. It is just, it doesn't have an academic tie to it. It's a sports conference. It's where it comes from. That's it. So I went to a great school.
Right.
It was not an Ivy League school.
Okay, but it's I've never heard of it until I met you.
That's
so, yeah.
No, I was gonna say that's not saying much because like nobody's heard of it unless they're looking for or interested in the major that school particularly specializes in.
Right. Okay.
So I was like, I hadn't heard of it until the recruiter came.
Right. Okay.
They said basically, we need some more diversity back when that was a thing people cared about.
AKA we need more niggers.
I didn't say that. You did.
You're right.
And,
we can say the school, so we can say it.
Yeah, it was
It was
only 3% when I joined. It peaked at 5% and went back down.
It peaked at 5% and went back down the tree.
Yeah, so
all three, y'all.
I have no idea what it is at now, but yeah, so that's
since.
And then
this
law school.
Sideline question. So like, was you on one of the welcome packets that they do for diversities for kids? Like they recycle.
So during my tenure there, my 4 years, no.
You never made the packet.
No, but because I requested to not make the packet, there are definitely people that did, and we used to laugh about it.
Okay.
I always requested not to be on those promotional materials.
Okay. And during your time in school, you went to a great college, and then you said you left there and went to law school. I wasn't going to say that, but you went to I'm just going to say you extended your education in fields that are held in high regards, depending on what circles you're in. Now, in all of these circles, you are a woman of education, beauty, stature, thickness. I'm sorry. I got my dream girl, so I'm excited. I got my dream girl.
That is so sweet.
I know. Please remember that when I aggressively hug you from the back tonight. So what was your thoughts and views as far as what you saw? Because a lot of things that you say in reference to like the women that you went to school with and the things that you encountered from these individuals, like how they're taught to think in schools as it relates to relationships. I remember you saying something like, a lot of these girls go to college for the sole purpose of meeting their husband and, keeping family ties together that, money marries money. Can you elaborate on that? Like as far as your experience and what you saw firsthand at schools like that?
Oh, yeah. So 2 things. Yes, money attracts money.
Right.
The best way to be a billionaire in this country is to be born a millionaire. That's the ticket.
Hold on, I got a sound. I thought I had a sound effect. Do I have it? Yep. There it is.
Like that's the gag. You need to be born a millionaire to become a billionaire, right? And there are exceptions to every rule, but that is the general rule of thumb for that. So money attracts money. Money likes money.
Right.
Money puts systems in place to ensure that it always remains with money.
Right.
That's the Trump story. You can be a failed businessman and still somehow remain in that quote unquote wealthy circle.
Right.
Right. Okay. So I did go to school. My private education for elementary, middle, and high school was that was people with money. And I was a kid on scholarship.
And I'm sorry, but for the people who are asking, for those who can't see her because you're listening on the podcast platforms, she is black. Don't let the voice fool you. She is black. I gotta say that because I don't want no problems. I don't want no smoke. I don't want no issues. She is black.
Yes, proudly.
Okay. So you were saying about money marrying money, private schools, because people hear that like, I know Heavy done sold out. he done. That's why we can't see her. She in blackface behind blurface.
Ooh, wow.
We can't see her because she.
No.
Oh yeah.
So there's that, and then there's the idea for certain social statuses that your role is to continue in that regard, right? Money marries money. So if you come from money, you are expected to follow that tradition and marry money. That's when marriage is really a business contract. It is a relationship between 2 families to exchange assets and keep those assets within a certain group of people. So you would see it's still practiced today, whether it's may not be as overt. It's a little bit more subtle today, but we used to call it the MRS degree in college, meaning you were there to find a husband. the misses. So you're there getting your MRS degree. And a lot of those were philosophy, English, and art history majors.
Right.
They had no career plans. Like you asked them what they wanted to do, and they're like, "Oh, I'm not sure." And it was like, "Of course not, 'cause that wasn't the goal."
Yeah.
So that is still something that is practice and stress in certain socioeconomic groups.
Mm-hmm.
I would say for us in our community,
right.
It's not that it doesn't happen, because I mean, I'm sure there are a lot of women out there listening. Like, I remember when I was going to college, whether it was Ivy League, HBCU, state school down south, whatever, and a mom, or auntie, or grandma would be like, "Well, I mean, while you down there, find a husband."
Yeah,
like that's not an uncommon thing. I mean, we used to joke at my school up in the Northeast that we were struggling dating in college just because it was just so few of us.
Right. So when you say few of us, you mean black people?
Yes.
Why didn't you give Bradley or Cooper or Connor a shot?
Was never comfortable with the idea.
So you don't like pink sausage? From what I've seen,
I guess I okay, you can reduce it to that comment, but I would just say I was never comfortable with that idea. And when you start that interaction or that interest, like, you know, when puberty starts, you're in that 9 to 12 years of age, and you start looking at the people that you're attracted to.
Right.
It is, and I've done studies and then have read articles. I will not say quote unquote do my research because that's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
But I've read articles on this topic.
That's something I wanted to leave in
sociologists.
2024. Do my research, but I'm gonna
say
that
that's why I wanted to phrase that carefully.
Yes, please. Thank you.
I took sociology classes about this idea that when you are, you know, othered in a way, or the only one in a group that looks like you, it can have an effect on your self-image and your self-esteem. So you're sitting there joking like, you didn't like Bradley, Cooper, da-da-da. I said, none of them looked at me. I was invisible in those spaces, at school dances, at parties and things like that. When that started happening, I would be there and would be invisible. And It wasn't until 9th grade that some of my girlfriends and I discovered an all-boys high school.
Come on, fast ass.
No.
Come on.
In
I want to make sure
in Harlem and in the Bronx.
In Harlem.
So no, not even. So that was a way for us to go and feel seen and still be able to go through that, your first dance experience, and a boy getting your phone number back when that used to be a thing, right?
Now they get IGs. So what's your number? Let me get your IG. Word.
And I was like,
we're gonna get there about how different it is, but
that would be the experience.
All of those situations have led you, like, how did that situation steer your thought processes and desires as far as like how you approach dating in college? Because we're talking about the part of, you know, you coming into your own as far as an adult that has her own thoughts, views, and perspectives, but how did that mold your mind as far as how you approach dating?
It definitely had an impact on it, coming from a predominantly white educational environment from age 6 through 18.
Shout out PWIs. PWI product right here, baby. I'm not gonna say my college because y'all don't give me no respect, but it's fine. I ain't worried about it. I ain't in no meetings, no gratings, no you've come back because I was the man down in my college. PWI, you know who you are. If you don't, whatever. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say that has an impact on how you start dating and how you interact, and compounded by the fact that I went to an all-girl school. It was a definite change in environment, a culture shock somewhat, even though that was a PWI.
Yeah.
It was my first time ever being in a classroom with members of the opposite sex, and they're just there all the time, and you're in the dorm room. They're one flight up, one flight. It's a lot. Like, college is a lot. And when it came to dating, there was only a small number. So that was also a bit weird, because it was just sort of like, well, there's only 6 here, so you got to pick one. I mean, and that's a false choice, right? Because you could just say no. You could absolutely just not.
You can,
and that didn't happen because the numbers were so small. Most of the girls were all friends. We were all cool. We were all in step team together. We were on BSU together. We were all in NESB together.
Right.
So there wasn't a like after so and so dated a guy, that was it.
Right.
Like, whoop, well, he's off the market, and now you're down to 9. Like, it's not like that was just sort of what it is. So it was a very, I feel, artificial, weird dating experience in that way. And I actually did date I had a boyfriend every year of high school.
Oh.
But we were all products of the same environment. Like this private school network of Black kids. Not a lot of us, but like it's a network.
Right.
And then coming to my college was almost like an extension of that. So that was weird. I would say like real dating.
Yeah.
In like a proper way probably didn't start until grad school. Yeah.
Grad school.
Because that was in a more way more diverse
and you mentioned
just populated environment.
You mentioned grad school, and for the people that have short attention spans, I'm not going to expose what type of school it was. We're just going to say higher education. Mm-hmm. So you went to higher education, and your dating viewpoints and approaches changed. What was the first, oh shit, this is real dating moment for you during that time period?
Actually, I would say probably being asked out, like on an actual date.
Damn. So the bar been in hell for you.
Yeah, and
I was going on real dates since I was 13.
I was gonna say it ain't just me. Like shout out to all of my ladies out there in the struggle. I see you. I feel you. You are not alone. And the studies reflect that it is trending your way.
She married. Y'all are alone.
No.
Y'all are by yourself. Childless cat ladies in the making. I'm just kidding.
I was like, you were not going to disrespect.
You're right. The
majority of the population.
Listen. I'm going to be on my best behavior because this is the woman that takes care of my daughter as well as me. So it's all love today. Mm-hmm. But boy, when she leave, I'm back on y'all ass tomorrow. I am. I'm sorry. Go ahead, baby.
You like that sound effect, bro.
I do, because I'm tapped in my New York, man.
That's
Yeah.
That's plenty of cities that could be, not just New York. But
name another city it could be.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Baltimore, Miami, New Orleans, Detroit, Chicago. It's okay. St. Louis, like I could,
but it don't ring off the way it do like New York. New York in the building. I'm just kidding.
Honorable mention to formerly Camden, New Jersey. Like there are plenty of places.
Okay, it's not Camden no more.
It's not like that no more.
Oh, but it's still called Camden.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we talking back to you said you were talking about just being asked out was your first aha moment of like real life introduction into dating, like
having options. Like being in a place where you have options. Like you don't have to just say, well, that's the one guy that asked you out. And, there were only 4 and you had 3 other friends. So like you have some options.
All right, slow down now. Keep in mind, we still married at the end of the pod. So
this is all pre you. What are we doing?
Okay. Don't dive too deep.
Okay.
And what was? Don't dive too deep now.
But I mean, you're asking about the dating experience.
Yeah, you're right. That's
there's been a seismic shift or change. And for those out there that are wondering, like we used to watch TV shows and you would see people getting asked like, oh, like you want to go to the movies or like dinner in a movie, like that is not happening, sadly. Today,
trying to Netflix and chill.
Yeah, that's what took it over, right? Instead of dinner and a movie, Netflix and chill. The idea of actually asking someone out, planning an activity, dedicating a block to spend time and get to know that person.
Right.
And by the way, there is no set or minimum dollar requirement on that.
I promise I want
those types of things have changed. Like
Don't give it too much.
I have younger siblings who've like I've never been properly asked out. Like I've never been on a date. Everything's
which is crazy because her younger siblings is cool.
Like
her you talking about your younger sister?
Both
not
of
the
them.
baby.
Yeah, both of them.
The baby, she need to be focused on the books. The second in command, cool, man. Cool. Smart. I don't understand it. I keep telling them.
So smart.
I keep telling them.
Amazing.
Your man is in the South. We appreciate everything about that, but her sister don't vibe with the South, and I get it. Yeah. If you ain't from here, it's some getting used to. It's some getting used to personally. So
yeah, she did college down here. So
right. Yeah, firsthand, she got to get the fuck out of here. I understand that.
I was like, she may feel differently, and she gets a little older. I don't know.
Maybe, but we ain't.
She may actually emigrate. It was like, she may not even try and give any place here a chance anymore.
I'm not even mad at her at this point. So, all right. So we got the college experience. Did you have a true college, like what you felt like was a true college love experience? Not given the gravity of where you are now. Back then, there was a person that you might have been talking to that you was like, oh my God, this is the love that I've been waiting for. Did you have that in college?
I don't think I said this is the love I've been waiting for, but it was definitely a major life experience.
Okay.
Right? Like very intense. And as everything is, any romantic involvement you have between the ages of like 14 and 22 are just super intense.
Right.
As your mind is still developing, like chemically, physically still developing, and your body is still physically developing.
Right.
Lots of emotions, lots of hormones that you don't truly understand how to deal with, process, and assess. So you're just 0 to 100 all the time, every day. Exhausting.
Right. Okay.
A lot of obsessive behavior. A lot of infatuation happens at that age.
Ooh.
Not love.
True connection or anything like that.
Yeah, it's infatuation and a little bit of lust because you don't really know you completely yet.
Right.
Like you don't know who you are as a person. You're still figuring that out.
Right.
Which is great. That's the point of that age.
Right.
And then your body's doing weird shit, man. Like doing all this, like you're learning, you're growing.
Right.
Like for ladies out there, like your cycling thing is still like setting.
Yeah.
Like you're in the beginning of that kind of phase of your life, right? As far as dudes, I'm like, you just realize you have parts.
Yeah.
And that they work.
Yeah.
Don't know how to make them work properly, but
when you
have parts and they work.
When you had that first
so
release,
you're like, oh gosh, it's a lot.
Listen, BET Uncut, once I figure out how my parts work.
Wow. Throwback.
Boy. I think I tried to let off like 8 in one night.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's back
exactly things you can do under 22, right? Like because you have no idea how your body works. Shit. You just know you have a part that works, and you out there ready to work it to death, man, right? Like you have no idea.
Boy, I tried. No
idea.
I absolutely tried. I was rocking that joystick all the nights long, and man, let me tell you. I tell you what. I think about if we try to do 8 in one night now, shit. The way I would divorce you or encourage you to get a younger man.
I'd stun gun you.
Damn. Hey, listen, shout out to the people that say they still want to do it all day, all night.
People without children. Amen.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Fuck them.
Live that life.
They can have it.
Do it.
They can I still don't see how my mom had litters herself. Like, bro.
Not a litter.
It's 7 of us. That's not a litter?
No.
What's a litter? 13?
I have no idea. I don't associate that with people, so I'm never going to call a family with children a litter. I'm never going to do it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, see, guys, ladies and gentlemen, she's the politically correct one. Because that could be misconstrued to say, human. Bro, people have a litter of kids. No. My grandmother had like 9.
That's not.
Rev had like 8.
We don't refer to people that way.
You're right. Given the climate of everything in this country right now, we refer to people as humans, even if they're doing some inhumane shit. But we're talking about love right now.
I'm just speaking on me.
We talking about love.
Exactly.
We talking about love. All right, so because you're going to give them too much. And what's going to happen is, because I don't know if you noticed this or not, but how long do you think we've been recording so far?
I have no real concept of time. Like we know this.
I know.
So why are we doing this?
Because I know you got a bedtime.
I do.
Right?
Yes.
We've been recording for almost 30 minutes already. And we ain't even got to the meat part of how me and you met yet.
Yeah, I wanted to correct the record because you mentioned that we met on TikTok. And I was like, that's interesting. I don't know who you met on TikTok, but it was not me.
Baby. Mm-hmm. We're going to get there.
Again, we're not being sponsored, so I don't need to say the app.
You're right.
I'll just tell you who it wasn't.
You right? No, because technically it was 2 apps.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we got that. Now that's your college experience. Just kind of getting the introduction into just what we call in the South down here the basic bare necessities of just hey, how you doing? Do you want to go do something? That was your first moment in college, as far as like the eye opening experiences of like really dating for real.
Yeah.
Wow.
that was part of it, and then just the infatuation, because you're on if you're dating someone that's on the same campus as you,
right?
Then they're there like all the time, and that's why I say it's more like obsession, infatuation, and lust than I think.
So what would you say would be the differences from that going to you graduated college and now you've tapped into the professionalism? Like, what was your first real adult professional relationship like, as far as like, you're dating, you're a professional, you're in the workplace, you have bills, you got responsibilities. The infatuation is gone when you got rent due. You can infatuate about somebody when you don't have to worry about shit. Like when you got your meal plan.
That's what I said. I was like, college is about that.
It's easy.
It's all about the emotions and the feelings and nothing else.
But what was it like to have the first relationship that was real from like, you're an adult now. You're in the adult world.
So I actually say my first real adult relationship was after grad school. During grad school, I casually dated.
Right.
Or as we now say, situationships.
Wait, you had situationships?
Yes.
You had situationships in grad school? Did you tell me about these?
Yes.
We'll talk later about that.
I'm sure we will.
We'll talk later about that.
Here we go.
Okay.
This is like that Chris Rock joke. Don't ever ask a woman how many, because no matter what number she says,
I wasn't going to.
It'll be too much for you.
Because we'll talk.
Shout out to Chris Rock. Fantastic set.
We'll talk. We'll talk.
Okay.
All right, casual Cassandra. Your
there
real life.
Like I said, Chris Rock. You can say two. You could be like, I dated casually two people. They'd be like, two.
You didn't say dated. You said situationship.
Yes.
Okay. We it's about love. It's about love. Whew, Holy Ghost.
Is there an eye roll button?
Yeah. It's called, isn't it? It's internally right now.
That doesn't even really get.
I can unblur your face and they can watch your eyes roll.
No, that's fine.
Okay. So your first real post grad school, you had the relationship. How did that differ when you add the real world elements into it?
Just a lot tougher. Reality.
Explain.
You touched on it earlier. The reality of, like you said, infatuation doesn't pay the bills. Mm-hmm. Right? It doesn't pay the rent.
Right.
It becomes a matter of working that into your life, figuring out how your personal and professional lives work hand in hand. And hopefully you are in a professional environment where they can. Some people don't get a work-life balance.
Right.
But you start to figure out, what does work-life balance mean? What does it mean for you?
Right.
And trying to work in being able to have a relationship. Because, I mean, it takes time and effort to get to know somebody and build a relationship with somebody. And if you go into work early and leave late, it doesn't leave a lot
of time.
Yeah, to do things like that. So that was stuff I was working, because I was the come in early, leave late, because it was just
the grind of what you was doing.
Yeah, I was trying to establish myself in my profession, pay them student loans.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
that's
still doing that.
Do you feel?
Damn it, Joe.
Shout out Joe Biden for doing absolutely nothing. Promise. Do you feel?
Oh, we'll get into that on another episode, because I was like, that's not true.
Okay.
But okay.
Do you feel that do you feel like that situation? Because for me, I see the gravity of where things are going and how things are being pulled in today. And I think you have an appreciation for it, because you are the modern day woman that quote unquote has it all. You got the husband, you got
quote unquote, whatever that means.
Yeah. You got the husband, you got the kid, you got the house, you got the cars, you know what I'm saying? You got the job. But getting to that place in that process, it wasn't the wake up and demand it from somebody else. You went out and got it yourself. You see what I'm saying? Like you
got the house and the car. And
you got to where you are by yourself. The parts that you got to that by yourself. Because we're talking about the climate of today's dating and all of that. versus like, because you're talking about the real life experiences of expectations. A lot of people have the expectation of I wake up, I look good enough, I put myself out there good enough, so I should have all of that now. So there's an appreciation through your grind and grit that you went through for you. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So
Okay.
I got to give my baby some praise.
I was like, oh, look at that.
Yeah,
okay.
you're welcome. I'm such a good person. I'm a good person. Kinda.
I've never heard you say that.
Really? I've
You're
never
a
said
good
that.
person.
Oh, this is for pod.
Refer
to the tag at the beginning of the pod.
Okay.
Shout out to DG.
Cool.
DG knows exactly how rancid I can be. So we're gonna talk about, and if it's too much, we can fast forward and get straight to me and you, because again, we're at 34 minutes.
Probably should.
Okay, so just get straight to me and you?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. She's rushing me because again, she gotta go to bed, and our daughter don't care nothing about that. And it's already almost 10 o'clock. So I know you are struggling to hold on. You are struggling to hold on. Okay, so do you want me to tell the story of how we met, or do you want to tell the story of how we met? For everybody who's watching who was a fan of my relationship spur of the moment from TikTok, this is about to burst all y'all bubbles. All right, so do you want to tell a story, or do you want me to tell it?
Go ahead and tell it. You have such a fantastic way of telling or mistelling it. Just go for it.
Picture it. Sicily, 1962.
There we go.
Okay. So there was a time where...
Shout out to the Golden Girls. We do not steal IP. Go ahead.
You're right. We don't. Because, that's not our bag. Mm-hmm. We met. There was an app that we were talking on. And if I say anything wrong, you let me know.
Oh, waiting for it, sweetheart.
Okay. She is true grit and bear. Okay, cool. So we met on a dating app. On this dating app, she had sent me a message to which I didn't get. And
Not exactly sent a message. You mean like the automated message when you swipe on a person?
Well, no, I thought you said you sent me a message because I know we got the match, but on this app, and I can say, I can't write you first.
Right.
You have to write me.
No, but it sends the automated when you swipe
It says that we matched. That's all it says on the man side. On the man side, all it says is you've matched. Now wait for her to feel like talking to you. That's essentially what it was. So we met on that app.
I didn't design
initially.
The app, so okay.
It was there's this one photo that she had, braids all back, long down to the ass. It was a little see-through bathing suit thing.
Was that a bathing suit?
That wasn't a bathing suit?
No.
Was that a professional outfit?
What do you mean by it's not a bathing suit?
Well, no, I'm talking about it was a cover for a bathing suit. I thought you wore it as a cover for a bathing suit. The picture of you in all black with the braids to the back.
Yeah, that's not a bathing suit. It was just...
That's not a bathing suit cover? You wouldn't wear a bathing suit under that? Like that's the stuff you wear to like a pool on a resort or something like that?
Not in all black. I think you saw it. Like it's a sheer top.
Yes.
Right? And right. I had a black leather skirt.
Oh, so that's a leather skirt.
Uh-huh.
I thought it was all sheer because I didn't.
Boots, no.
I got to the head, shoulders, and just
I
below
was
the
like,
chest.
That's like I had a whole thing on.
Barely saw your legs. Didn't even know if you had feet or not. Because that picture, the head and shoulders was popping. Anyway, so
I was like, bathing suit. What the hell?
I thought it was because I thought I could have sworn I saw red underneath the sheer top.
No.
That's just me?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we matched on that app, and then nothing happened. Fast forward to another app. I saw her again. I said, oh, here she go again. We're gonna give this another try. So we both matched on this app. And me, I had to jump out the window. I had to say, yo, man, listen, I'm not waiting for this chick. I got to let her know.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah, baby. Yo.
That's not what happened.
Did I not reach out to you first on the second app?
No.
You didn't reach out to me.
Yes, I did.
Saying what?
The same swipe.
What was your first words that you said to me?
Do you know them?
I remember.
You don't.
I do.
You do not.
I got them screenshot and saved in my Google Photos.
Lies.
I will put them on the internet.
Why you gotta put them on the internet? You could just show them to me. That's so. I was like, that's so
First
extra
off,
ridiculous.
for me to go through my Google Photos, I have to go over 2,000 photos. They're not placed in the proper time as far as timing. I just saw this like 3-4 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm. You just saw this particular picture, this screenshot that you've saved of the very first words I sent to you.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Can I go on my story?
Go ahead. Continue.
So I was like, you're. I said, what's poppin'? She was like, hey, how you doing? I'm fine. How are you? How's your day? This goes back and forth.
Now that is true.
This goes back and forth.
The driest conversation.
Sahara dry.
Yeah, that is true.
For those who don't know, I am not attractive via words. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm more attractive live and in person. Like once you get to see all of this in person, then it's like, yo, I get it. I'm
Says
not
the poet. That's interesting. I'm not attractive via words. Says the poet.
Because if you hear a voice, if you hear a voice that's reading or reciting poetry, you can. It's the audio. Mm-hmm. If you just read the words, if I put out my poem and just put out words, they'll be like, well, I guess it's okay. Who's the guy that wrote it? You know what I'm saying? Like poetry, like audio has a cadence, it has a flow. Physical appearance has an aura and an energy. Mm-hmm. If we just sending words back and forth, I'm like, bitch, you stupid. That can read two different ways. It can read, bitch, you're stupid.
That's why punctuation is key.
Even if you punctuate, you can put bitch, comma, you stupid. But if you don't put an LOL on that, you're not going to know how to take that.
Punctuation key, that comma, everything. Continue.
So, anyway, conversation is dry as hell. It's Google Gaga dry. Dumb dry. I finally say, yeah, so about us meeting, because I'm sick of this shit. About us meeting. I told her, I said, yo, here's where I'm going to be. I'm going to be here at this time. If you want to, pull up. That's it. Pull up on me. So fast forward, I get there. At the time I said I was going to be there, she did not confirm nor deny whether she was going to be there or not. I was gone. I was out. I left. I went to one of my cigar bars. I'm sitting outside, I'm people watching. And this young lady sits in the vicinity of where I am. Not my wife, another young lady.
Next to you, in the vicinity of where I am.
No, I'm telling you, listen to the story. You wasn't there. Uh-huh. You don't know.
Okay.
This young lady sits in the vicinity of where I am. Forgot what game or whatever was going on. She was a brand new cigar smoker, and I love being helpful when it comes to cigars. So I'm telling her the ins and outs, the workings of this and that. She's like, who you? Like, are you here waiting on somebody? I was like, nah, I'm not waiting on nobody. Because in my head, she didn't confirm nor deny. I'm going to tell a story now. I'm going to tell it. Mm-hmm. I'm going to tell it. So we talking, shooting the shit. Nothing big, nothing crazy. One of my frat brothers come through. And he brings in, another frat brother. And we're all talking and laughing. Now, out my peripheral, keep in mind, I have been at the cigar bar for about 3.5 hours at this point. I've been at the cigar bar about 3.5 hours. Out my peripheral, I see a woman walking back and forth, kind of like, oogling, like looking. So I kind of catch it. I'm like, is that her? Holy shit, I think that's her. I said, nah, she ain't confirmed. I said, y'all be right back. I run to the bathroom. I look at the app. She's got the messages like, yo, I'm coming. I'm on the way. I'm this. I'm not like, yo, so that is her. It is her. It's going to look crazy that she's going to see me out here with another woman. But I ain't tripping because I told her, hey, this is what it is. This is how long I'm going to be there, whatever. So fast forward. She says, nah. She get on her New York bully like, this ain't finna have me come out here and meet him, and he on a date with another chick. I'm going to pay the $10 just to look at him in his face and tell him, yeah, Nick, I caught you. Another ain't shit dude out here trying to screw over good, hardworking women, independent women say, ow, all of that shit. She walks in the spot.
Sounds so aggressive.
Am I wrong at any part yet?
Yeah, I was not that aggressive.
All right.
That sounds real Bronx.
You right, Harlem. Yo, I'm going to swag on them. I'm going to show them like, yo, I'm here. You playing that ass, I'm out. She had a cool approach to it. She come in the spot, looks at me like, yeah, you see me? I was like, oh, yo, you came. She was like, yeah, I'm here. And, you know, what's up? I was like, nothing. I was just about to leave, but X, Y, and Z. So she comes over to the spot where my frat brother and the young lady stayed. And I said, hey, I'm going to walk this young lady out because I'm from the South. It's rude to borrow somebody for conversation for 2-3 hours at a time and then not be like, all right, see you on your way because, you know, my real thing is, no, it's rude. So I just say, I'm going to walk her to the things real quick. I'll be right back. I walked the young lady to the steps, tell her it was nice meeting her, exchange Instagram information because she did some bead work. And I'm like, I might want to get a couple of those. I come back. She's talking to my frat brothers. I pull her out of that situation, and we continue to walk towards the garage. Did I miss anything?
Oh, God.
Did I miss anything?
For the sake of time, just roll.
Okay. All right. Now, all of this takes place November 2020. So for everybody in TikTok, think, oh my God, he met her through the app. He put out I'm looking for a good woman and she came. That's not true.
At all.
Like,
Well, sorry, go ahead.
I literally spent time telling her, like, this is what I'm thinking about doing. And my wife is very private. She's very no nonsense. She was like, hey, as long as shit don't get like, do whatever you want. Keep that crazy shit away from me. Bet.
Yep. Yeah.
The only other person that knew about this is my homie Thick Back Nikki Jack. Shout out Thick Back Nikki Jack. She knew about all of this. So we meet in November. We go into the car and she was like, do you want to stop and get a drink? I'm like, nah. You want to stop and get something to eat? I'm like, nah. Because, you know, I'm like,
that was part of the original invite.
And that was 3.5, 4 hours ago.
No, I'm just explaining why I was mentioning like, hey,
you're right. You're right. And at that time,
it wasn't random.
I was doing my fasting thing. So I don't eat like at the time I was only eating like a 4-hour window. That window had long since expired and I was still a cop. So I had to be to work the very next day. You can't drink within 12 hours of coming on shift. I don't. I think the thing is like minimum 8 or something like that, but I don't do like 12 hours. I ain't doing it. I'm not running I'm black. And the police, great way to hem me up. I'm not going to be the spokesperson for nobody's bullshit. So we go to the garage. And it's so funny. We actually saw a couple. They had parked their car and walked to a restaurant. We stayed in that garage talking and laughing for like, how long? The better side of like, what, maybe 4 hours?
Just shy of that.
Just shy of 4 hours. Mm-hmm. And I told her right then, I said, yo, you like sports, smart, funny, caring. You are all of these things. And you got a great smile because smiles, that's my shit. I can overlook a lot of things, but your teeth got to be right. And my baby's teeth is definitely top tier. I said, yo,
do care about that.
I do.
Yeah.
I said, yo, you got all of this going on. If this is who you really are, I'm off the app. I ain't talking to nobody else. I ain't fucking with nobody else. I'm done. I'm deleting the app right now. She was like, whatever. Whatever. Right or wrong?
Oh, wrong. I did not say it like that.
He was like, whatever. You could re-download the app.
There you go.
I said,
That's exactly what I said.
I can also keep it deleted. It was like, well, I'm not deleting mine. I said, I never asked you to.
Uh-huh.
And I told her, I said, listen, I'm not saying you got to stop talking to anybody. I'm not saying that you can't have other boyfriends or other guys you talk to. I'm saying I'm the dopest person that's in your phone. And she said, how you know? I said, because we've been talking for 4 hours and you ain't checked it once.
Good point.
ain't looked at it once. You felt so safe and so much enjoying the time of everything that you ain't checked your phone one time. So I'm not worried about it. Matter of fact, I'm going to give you until February 14th, 2021 to make an informed decision. That's 3 months. You got 3 months to figure it out. That the best thing you've ever had and gonna have is right here. Because if you come across somebody that's better than me, sweetheart, it's only up from there. It's only up from there. But I believe in my heart of hearts, you're not going to find someone better than me. Did I miss anything?
No, that's it.
Okay. Fast forward. A lot of good times, laughs, very little heartache, a lot of headache on her side because I give it to her on a regular. A lot headaches, not. I give her headaches on a regular. We got married in July of 2023. Mm-hmm. We had our daughter 4 days before our 2-year anniversary. Mm-hmm. And we have seen 3 countries together.
Yes.
3 countries: Jamaica, Mexico mm-hmm. City, mm-hmm. And Costa Rica. Mm-hmm. Have gone to several different stateside cities or whatever have you. And it's been a whirlwind of just fun and excitement. And I just want to say I love you. Thank you for having me and, agreeing to be with all of this craziness, taking it in stride. Because again, I know we press for time. Because you got to get to bed. So, what would you say? Because I feel like we're gonna get enough requests to do a part 2. Because people want to know. They're gonna have their own things. I know they're gonna want to call me out on some shit. What would you say?
I'm sure. Mm-hmm.
What in the time that we've been together? Mm-hmm. What would you say is a life lesson in marriage or relationships that you want to pass along to women who claim they want to be in this position?
Wow. We'll obviously continue that conversation because you just can't just say like one line.
I know you can't sum it up, but
so that's definitely
because I know it's a bunch of moments. But if it was one thing in particular that you can say, all right, this would be a great starting place, or this is going to be at this moment. This is what you need to really dig down and look into. Like, what would be the thing for you to be like, this is the thing?
I'm going to say, I'm going to say 3 things. The first is cliche, but it's cliche because it's true. Communication. Mm-hmm. That is key to any relationship, personal, professional, romantic, platonic, familial. Like, communication is key. Mm-hmm. People are not mind readers. So you have to be able to properly and effectively communicate your thoughts and feelings.
Right.
Honesty.
Okay.
And in the sense of sincerity, right? If you're truly talking about making the commitment to be with someone till death do you part, as the vows say.
Yeah, that's what they say. I said them.
You need to be honest with yourself,
right,
as well as your partner,
okay.
Right, and then be able to communicate that honesty. And the third thing is trying to figure out how to best say this. So we have communication, we have honesty,
right,
and self-reflection, introspection.
Ooh.
Right? So you need to be introspective, do self-reflection, be honest about that self-reflection,
right,
the introspection, and then be able to communicate that self-reflection. because it is a partnership, and partnerships don't work without those three things, in my opinion.
Okay.
And I was like, well, definitely have to continue that for another day, because you could break out each of those. Because to me, the self-reflection and honesty are key. The communication at that point is sort of that's the top, that's the surface layer. But the others about being honest, sincere, and doing self-reflection are really the deep dive. They're the core about what will make your relationship successful, in any relationship you have, successful or not. You need to be able to not just talk about slights to you, perceived or real.
Right.
You need to be able to identify, admit, and accept your own shortcomings and flaws, either ones that you've identified or ones that your partner has identified to you. And that can be incredibly difficult because you have what I have heard from a therapist, your consecutive self and your concurrent self. Your consecutive self is who you've been your entire life, from birth until this moment. It is a accumulation of all of your experiences throughout your life. So all your relationships, instance, moments, memories, things that have happened to you, and things you've done. So that is your consecutive self.
Right.
When you get into a relationship, that consecutive self meets now with your concurrent self. And that concurrent self is who you now are in this relationship. Mm-hmm. And it's important that those two things work hand in hand, because you cannot completely mask, diminish, or hide who you are. You've talked about that all the time. You can only fake it for but so long.
Right.
Right. Eventually, you can only hold a lie for so long, unless you're a con artist. I guess those people out there. But like, you can only do it for so long, and it comes or it'll come out. Right. So that consecutive self and your concurrent self have to work together. And that concurrent self is the person you are in the relationship, that one half of the relationship. And it has to be in balance with your consecutive self, or the relationship isn't going to work. And I find oftentimes people let the consecutive self take over and overshadow. Not the consecutive, the concurrent self overtake and overshadow the consecutive self.
Okay.
So like who you really are gets diminished, gets hidden, and then you can become resentful or become a shell of the person you used to be, and then you see lash out.
Nice. So is there, oh God, because I'm telling you, you are the blueprint idea of what a lot of people think they want, but the reality of what it is.
How do you mean?
I mean, because you're the blueprint for a lot of people saying, you know, you get to the bag, take care of yours, you do your own thing. But the reality of it is, it doesn't look as cookie cutter clean as the internet would have you believe. It's not the, I make $1 million, so my man has to make 3. I drive a Porsche, so he's got to drive a Mercedes. Like, you have the...
And to be clear, you like what you like. Ain't no judgment out of me, but you know this, what I've always said. You have a right to want certain things out of your significant other, to have your own set of standards, to like what you like.
Right.
I will also say that does not mean that what you like
likes
and
you
what
back.
you want likes you or wants you back. And that is just that's reality.
Yeah, it is. And that's, again, there's so much I want to get into. I had another series of questions. So like you said, we're approaching the hour, and I know you got to get to bed. Mm-hmm. So let's clap it up for my wife. You know, clap it up. Thank you, baby.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. Aww. And hopefully you can keep it coming later on. Anyway.
I knew it. As soon as you said, I was like, you could do that exit politely and cleanly.
Politely.
And I was like, and you're not going to?
Nah, because there's no fun in that.
Not even close?
Not even close. But are we there? We'll come together.
Look at you. You just couldn't even help it.
You know you're married.
That's just like, there it is.
It is. It's not there yet. But boy, if I wouldn't.
It's a ladies out there.
Marriage is hard.
It is a job.
Marriage is hard.
It is a job that you sign up for. It is unpaid. Right? Like it is work.
Well, I will say thank you, and I love you to life for doing this for me. And if and when you're ready, I'm sure that I'm gonna have more than enough people that want to voice their thoughts and views and opinions on how all men ain't shit and how these bitches ain't shit either. And I can't wait to have pointless conversations about that goofy shit because, again, I'm not encouraging one way or another, but I'm on the other side of it. If marriage is the goal, then I've already won. So I'm not going to argue with people about what is and what isn't. If your goal is to get where I'm at, technically, I've already won the game.
People want to be heard.
Want to be heard.
And then people are also, they're out there, they're hurting. It's like the concept of the American dream, right? You can equate that to the quote unquote American relationship. People feel like they've been sold a bill of goods. That wasn't true, right? They called that the Disney princess effect, right? There were women disaffected with relationships because they were expecting the Disney princess story, the fairy tale. And it's not, that's not true. It's not real.
I'm not going to do this.
People are coming to grips with that.
If we start this conversation, you're going to be up all night. Then when that baby get up.
You're right.
And I roll over, you going to look to me and I'm going to be like.
I'm going to look to you.
I got nothing. You got to get up out of it. You got to get up out of it.
Tag him.
You got to get that baby up out of it. You got to get her to daycare. So we're not gonna start that conversation, but again, thank you for coming. We out here just at about an hour mark. For all the people that's listening, have thoughts, views, questions, or perspectives, or if you want to join the show for the heavy-hearted segments of the It's Just Heavy podcast, please feel free to email me at heavymac@outlook.com, heavymack@outlook.com. I want to thank the beautiful Miss Matt one more time. Clap
Thank you.
Clap it up for her.
Appreciate you having me.
Yes. And thank yourselves for coming out. Appreciate y'all listening. Love, peace, and hair grease. It's your man in all black, your boy Heavy Mac. Love y'all. See y'all next time. Peace.
It's heavy, baby.